All right. Red Nation. Today we're going to be talking about technical factors that impact the dose on CT coming up here at How Radiology Works. So we have another video where we talk about these technical factors on an X-ray acquisition, and there is some similarity, right? We've talked in other videos about the MA, the time in seconds, and the KVP. These are all things that you can change from the user console either on an X-ray or a CT system. So those are the same between X-ray and CT. And those are actually influencing the parameters for the X-ray tube itself. How long is the X-ray tube going to be on? And when the X-ray tube is on, what's the potential, the KVP across there? And what's the tube current? So the milliamperes is the tube current. And the tube current is directly proportional to how many X-ray photons are going to be generated. We also talked about the SID, so the source to image distance. So in X-ray, that's really a big concern, right? Because we have our 1 over r squared. In CT, luckily, we don't have to worry about it because the SID doesn't change from acquisition to acquisition. On CT, that is kept constant. So don't worry about that one. We also talked about what we call the Bucky factor, or the relative grid that you're using in front of your image receptor. We also don't have to worry about that one in CT either, because we also have an anti-scatter grid, but we in general keep that constant also from one exam to another. So those are two things we don't have to worry about, making your life as a CT tech easier than an X-ray tech. There's other things though that we do have to worry about. Your table's moving along the Z direction, so we can cover this in a helical manner. If you have an axial exam, you don't have to worry about pitch. You don't have that factor at all. But if it's a helical exam, your pitch is just your translation divided by the detector height. So it's a relative number where a pitch of 1 is most comparable to an axial exam in terms of the sampling. And then a pitch of 1/2, you have more duplicate sampling, and a pitch greater than 1, you have actually less sampling. So in a lot of regions, it's more like a short scan rather than a full scan of acquisition. So these are the factors that we're concerned with on CT, right? We have pitch, MA, time, and KVP. So you want to have memorized and have it kind of in your soul that you can basically know the dependencies of these different factors on CT, because you're going to be doing it day in and day out. So if your professor throws all these parameters in a big pile and says, what's the given dependence? We need to be able to put them in order and talk about the given dependence or how the dose depends on these given factors. So which of these is the most important and which should we start off with? It's the same as an X-ray actually. For the one that's the most important and the one that we want to start off with, we want to start off with the KVP because it has the biggest influence here with respect to dose. We're not talking about the image quality here, but we'll talk about other videos about image quality. And the image quality is actually dependent on the KVP, because if you've seen our KVP video, you know this is the thing that actually determines the contrast in our X-ray and CT imaging. The dependence of the dose on KVP depends on the size of the patient. It's not totally straightforward for all patients, but in general, it's a relationship. That factor is somewhere between 2.5 and 3.1, again, depending on the size. For the rest of this video, I'm just going to write 2.5 for simplicity, but you know here that it does depend on the size. Then after the KVP, we'll talk about the MA and then the time. Again, just like in X-ray, those are directly proportional to the dose, because the MA is how many photons we're making in a given amount of time, and then the time is how long the patient is being exposed. And then for the pitch is actually inversely proportional. So as the pitch gets higher, that means we're actually making fewer redundant measurements. So we're actually not going to be depositing as much dose. If the pitch is lower, we're actually making more redundant measurements, and thus we're going to be depositing more dose in the patient. So the take-home point, start off with KVP, that's number one importance, and then have these relationships memorized down to your soul, MA and time are directly proportional, and pitch is inversely proportional with dose. So if we write that out here as an equation, we have kVp to the 2.5 power times n times time, then divided by pitch. Our dose is going to be proportional to that on our CT scanner. It's that easy, right? And if we want to make it even easier that we don't have to keep track of these things separately, we could move pitch over just a little bit here. And then we can talk about there's one kVp dependent parameter, and then there's one other parameter here. And one of the other vendors gives this a parameter a name. They call this parameter effective MAS. So the effective MAS is just the MA times the time divided by the pitch. And in that way, this is actually going to be directly proportional to dose. So if we change the effective MAS, we are going to be making a direct change on the dose. So this is a direct way of thinking about the parameters which affect the dose. Again, the kVp term, and then the effective MAS term, if you see this on some vendors' interface. We also want to talk about the dose if you're changing parameters. So if you have one given set of parameters that you have in your protocol, and then you want to change to a new set of parameters. So we're going to use a subscript new here to talk about this new set of parameters. And what we can do is we can write down, here is the new parameters here on the top, and here's the original parameters. All we did was we took that same relationship that we had and we wrote it down for the new version and then for the original version. So left-hand side, which I have on the top here, is the new version, and the right-hand side is the original version. Then you could solve for any of the parameters. And depending on what you're going to be changing on the system, you could solve for a different parameter. Right here, I'll solve for the MA. That's a parameter that we're actually often changing on the system. So if we solve for the MA, what we want to do is, first off, we'll take our kVp. It's on the left-hand side. We'll bring it down to the denominator on the right-hand side. So let's do that first. Then we want to get the MA by itself, right? So let's take our new time and then move that over to the denominator on the other side. Okay, we've got our time moved over to the denominator on the other side. Then let's get our pitch. This is in the denominator on the side with the MA, so it's going to move to the numerator on the other side. So let's move that over. Now we have a relationship for the new MA, and let's look at the terms that it depends on. The new MA goes as the ratio of the kVp divided by the new kVp to between 2.5 and 3.1, depending on the size. So that's the first term. Then the second term is the term that depends on the time. So we have the seconds divided by the seconds new. Then we have a term that's depending on the pitch. So we have the pitch new divided by the pitch. So this one is different than the others, right? Next, we'll solve some potential problems that you could have on a test or that you're actually dealing with at the scanner in real time. If the speed of an acquisition starts off at 1 second and then you change it to a half-second acquisition, what is the impact going to be on the MA? So we'll go to our equation here, and the kVp term, nothing happened to that term. The pitch term, nothing happened to that term. We just have to worry about this term here in the middle. It's dependent on the time. So we went from a 1 second to a 1/2 second. So what are we going to have to do here? Our new MA is going to be affected by 1 divided by 1/2. So that is a factor of 2. So it's just saying our new MA is actually going to need to be twice as great as our original MA. This makes sense, right? The MA is going to specify how many x-rays. The MA is linearly related to how many x-rays we can get in a unit of time. So if you have half as much time, you need twice as many x-rays in a unit of time in order to keep the dose the same. If we want to keep the dose the same, if you change the pitch from a pitch of 1 to a pitch of 1/2, what's the effect on the MA? So again, the same equation that we have our kVp term, we have our term that's depending on the time, those two aren't changing at all. But if we plug in the values for the pitch, we have a pitch of 1/2 here for the new value, and then a pitch of 1 for the original value. So our new MA is actually going to be 1/2 of our original MA. So this makes sense also because we have twice as many measurements. We now only have to have half as many photons used in a given measurement in order to get the same dose. This is the effect of the technical parameters in CT. See our video on the technical parameters in X-ray imaging if you haven't seen that one yet, coming up next.